Hello, I'm Chris Sherman. I'm executive editor of SearchEngineLand.com and co-chair of the Search Marketing series of events. The way that we designed boot camp was basically to make sure that anybody going through the full day of intensive training really got a good grounding in what we consider to be the 4 pillars of search marketing. The first one is keyword research. This is fundamental. Keywords are the way people search. They go to Google, they go to some other search engine, and they express their need or their intent by typing in search terms. So the opposite part of that for a search marketer to understand and master is what are people actually asking for when they go to a search engine. Now it seems relatively straightforward, but when you realize that people have become much more sophisticated over the years, they're no longer treating Google as a slot machine where they go and jam in one keyword, pull a lever, and hope to get a payoff. They're much more articulate. They're typing in 3, 4, 5-letter terms, in some cases entire sentences, and so on. So the art of keyword research has become much more subtle and much more sophisticated. It's not just a question of going out and figuring out, gee, we think these are the best words. It's really doing deep research and understanding the intent and what's going on in the mind of the searcher. So that's one of the 4 pillars of the bootcamp series. The second one is linking. Linking is the process that actually helped Google become the #1 player that it is. The idea behind it is simple. It's essentially that whenever somebody on the web creates a link to a web page, they're essentially voting for that web page. They're saying, I like this content enough that I'm going to make it so easy for you to get to, all you have to do is one click. So links are absolutely essential, but it's not just a simple popularity contest. There's more to linking than that. There's this concept of authority. Sites that have more authority, that links from those sites actually get much more credit in the search engine than a site that's, say, maybe my mom's blog. I mean, my mom's blog has great content in it, but it's not quite as authoritative, say, as the White House or a large major university link might be. So this art of linking is something that's also absolutely essential to master. And there are, of course, like anything else in search marketing, right ways and wrong ways of going about how to do it. And of course, the techniques evolve over time. So we have both this rock solid fundamental, here's the best practices, here's the way to do it, and also here's what currently is working in linking and what isn't, based on things that have changed over time. Our third pillar of this whole series is paid search fundamentals. Paid search is different than the results that you get in a regular Google search in that it's not going out onto the web and finding content for you. It's actually delivering targeted ads based on the keywords that you type in. So it's a very, very different process, very different mindset. It requires much more of that snappy copywriting. You need to have very compelling ads. You need to have really, really good calls to action in your ads. And beyond that, you need to know what to do with somebody once they actually visit your website. There's research that's been done that said basically when somebody clicks on an ad, the response time when they get to the advertiser's website, if something doesn't catch them and pull them in less than 10 seconds, they've lost a customer and probably forever. So there's both art and science to paid search, and that's what this Paid Search Fundamentals course actually addresses. And then finally, the 4th pillar that we have is what's called search engine friendly design. This is the broadest topic that we address, and probably also one of the most fundamentally important ones. This addresses the overall experience that searchers have with a search engine. User interface design, for example. How do you match the text and tone and content that your website has to the people who are coming to you basically just through a few keywords in your query? What are the kinds of issues that you have to pay attention to, technically speaking, when you are hosting a website somewhere so that your users actually have not only a good experience, but they're compelled to actually spend time on your website and really turn it into more of an experience rather than just a quick hit visiting your web page. So that's the 4 pillars of the bootcamp series that we've designed. And again, as I mentioned earlier, mastering these 4 tactics with the way that they're presented in these sessions, the day after attending a bootcamp series, people should be able to hit the ground running and really take advantage of everything that they learn. The reality is for most businesses in today's competitive environment is that you really have no choice but to have a presence on the web. And the way people are going to find you on the web is through search engines. The reality that most people experience in business is also that resources are often limited, time is short, you really don't want to send people out to extended events and so on. So we've designed the bootcamp series, the keyword research panel, the link building fundamentals panel, the paid search fundamentals panel, and the search engine friendly design panel to be a concentrated one-day experience where if you get through that, if you get through everything that's presented by our expert presenters, you'll be able to return to your job the next day and hit the ground running with your search marketing efforts.